of it. But yeah. So when you're talking, bring it in.
Oh, yeah.
Okay?
Oh.
All right. Very nice.
Anyways. So. You okay?
Mm-hmm. A little burp off microphone.
Oh, we're going to have a burp off now?
No, Michael, that's not what I said.
Why am I making that noise? Why are you nodding? Marty, don't be a fuckhead right now.
Martin.
I know what you're gonna do. He's gonna do something.
The biggest of backs. Martin.
Biggest of backs and a cock to show it.
No, he's all right. It was earlier. And when we got to your parents' house and we picked him up.
It's like,
Yeah. Martin's a dog, by the way.
oh, he's
For anybody listening to this conversation, this is
listening.
cold. It's like not a cold. What do you go? Cold start? What do they call that?
The cold start.
Cold start? Cold start. Cold opening.
Because Marty's been on video, but for people who only listen audio wise, Marty is a dog.
Marty is a dog.
He's a Chihuahua bulldog.
Pit bull, I think.
Pit bull. We were going to the car and a pit bull chased me. He was like a little puppy.
You ever seen like a mini keg? Like that you get for like a party? Think like that, but with 4 legs.
or like a pig in dog fur. Yeah.
No, he's a big boy,
He's a big boy,
A
probably weighs
really
about 20
big,
pounds.
a really big boy. As far as like a Chihuahua mix can be big.
Yeah, you could definitely throw him like a football. He's like 3 footballs melded into one. We're roasting him because the other fat guy's not here anymore.
I'm dead. Well, hell is hot. Hell is hot.
All right, so I think we are going to have a better schedule than we did before. I think we both have a little bit of more of adjustment on our lives currently, on everything going on.
You can speak for yourself. Yeah. I don't know about how adjusted I feel at the moment, but yeah, no, hopefully though. Hopefully.
Well,
I think,
I mean, you're dealing with going in person for school.
Yeah,
So, I mean, yours is a little different in that aspect. Huh?
No, Marty was going to my wine.
Oh? Getting saucy over there?
I just want a drink. Give me some of that wine. Anyways, yeah, I mean, you're going physically into school, so that's a little bit of a different ball game.
Yeah.
You're tired from that, and going to work as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you probably go to most days you probably go to work right after school, right?
Yeah.
And I would fucking hate that. I would feel dead tired after that.
Yeah, well, it is what it is. I go to I don't have school tomorrow. Memorial Day.
Memorial Day.
But I do and I don't have work tomorrow either, which just happened to have that day off, which is nice. But Thursday I have school, which is because Mondays and Thursdays are my full days for school, and then after school I have work.
Mm-hmm. Now,
which is unfortunate.
How many days of school do you take in the week?
2 days. 2 days a week.
And you should be finished by end of summer?
Like middle of September, like 5 months. Yeah.
That's not too bad, though. Just 2 days of school?
Not too bad. Well, 2 days of school right now, yes.
But then...
And then clinicals, when I have those, which I'll have to do full shifts for my clinicals.
So you have to do clinicals after September?
No, before that.
Oh,
no, like during class.
That might be where the time you're gonna have to tell them I can't work for you guys no more.
We'll work with them. I'm sure I can get some hours in. I just got to let them know. I'll know like a month ahead of time what my clinical days are going to be, so I can tell them that, and we can schedule around that. I think.
Yeah.
To the best that we can. But yeah. So some of my clinicals are going to be 12-hour days. Things like that. So. Just it is what it is. Over there, is he getting saucy, getting on the wine? You ever seen a drunk dog? Can we pull that up? Can we drunk dog? I've seen a drunk squirrel on video, but I've never seen A drunk dog.
Red Rocket does not come out. Red Rocket rocket ship. But what is with animals like using their tail to cover their private parts?
I don't know. I don't know if he's trying to cover his private parts. I think it's just an awkward position to be in because he's like upright, but he's usually on
Oliver
all fours.
does it all the time. His goes all the way up to his belly
I
button.
don't know. I think it's just natural. When they're in that position, I think the tail just goes that way.
Go in your room, baby.
They're like trying to balance themselves.
Mama.
All right.
Mama, I want to poop on you.
The hell?
That's not how he talks.
That's how.
Do his voice, baby. He won't. He does it.
I just want a little popcorn, that's all.
All right.
All right.
Well,
Well, we can get to one bit of news real
Okay.
quick. This is more of a reaction because I don't think you saw it yet. I'm not gonna lie, the last couple of weeks have been kind of a blur. But they released the first official trailer for Superman.
oh really?
Mhm.
Okay. No, I haven't seen it.
Not the teaser, just an official trailer.
Right.
So this one actually gives you an idea of what the story's gonna be.
Okay.
So if you want to put it on, since it's over there,
Well, we're gonna pull this up. We're gonna see this video. I suppose.
I don't even think Ari's watched it yet.
Superman.
That they showed in Minecraft.
Superman trailer.
In Minecraft. Oh no, that's the teaser trailer. This is the first official trailer that's actually supposed to.
Okay.
So-
right here, Superman official trailer from DC.
Yeah, and when you do teaser trailers, all that is to spike your interest. Official trailers give you story
Are you
details.
being serious right now?
Yeah.
You'd let me interview you as Superman.
Sure.
Ready?
Let's do it, Cronkite.
Superman.
Miss Lane.
Recently, you've come under a lot of fire for what some
It's a
might.
lot of
It's a lot. Today, the Secretary of Defense said he was going to look into your actions. That's fine.
My actions? I stopped a war.
Maybe.
Not maybe. I did.
In effect, you illegally entered a country.
This is how you're gonna be?
I'm not the one being interviewed, Superman. Did you consult with the president?
No.
You seemingly acting as a representative of the United States
except for me. And doing good.
I would question myself in the same situation and consider the consequences.
People were going to die. Hey, buddy. Eyes up here.
Your choices, your actions. That's what makes you who you are. Superman is not a man. He's an it. Somehow become the focal point of the entire world's conversation. I will not accept that.
I claimed your boots. I'll go get them for you. You have a dog?
I didn't know Katy Perry acted. Yeah, is that Katy Perry?
No.
What?
Straight up, I was thinking the same thing.
Straight up looks like Katy Perry.
Did not know. I was like, I didn't think she acted.
I'm
Yeah,
not
that
gonna
threw
lie.
me
If,
for a
if that
loop,
was
but
if
hey,
that was
yeah, that was-
if that was Katy Perry, I'd be skeptical about seeing this film.
She came back from
Oh God.
Yeah, she came back from space and thought that she could actually talk to an alien. But I showed that trailer to my dad, and he's even more hyped to see this movie. I've never seen her before, but I know
Rachel Brosnan is the name of this lady.
Go to bed. There's no popcorn. Go to bed.
So yeah, not Katy Perry. It's all good.
Jesus.
Oh, him? I don't know what he's up to.
He wants the buttered popcorn.
That's too bad. That's just too bad.
He's like, Mama, I can give you more buttery oil.
Acts like this is like embarrassing.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, well, I mean, learned habits. There's a reason.
Yeah.
Somebody taught him to behave this way.
To be fair, if she didn't, her parents would.
3 guesses who? Somebody in this room. 3 guesses who?
Well, no. 3 guesses, 2 rights. She would have. She definitely did. And then her parents.
Yeah, well, look at him now. He's finally given up.
My mama
He has
don't
2
love me.
modes: bed and food.
My mom doesn't love me enough to give me popcorn.
You know, I don't know if you can call that love.
I
You
just
know what I mean? Huh?
I gave him no popcorn.
Okay, so wait, we watched the Superman trailer. We haven't talked about anything about it.
Nope. Not
because
at
you
all.
guys stuck on Katy Perry.
And then you brought up the dog. Womp womp.
Sure, it said buffalo chicken.
Okay, anyway.
Okay. So the trailer. It looks good.
My dad was asking like, why is he's excited, but he was like, why is Superman getting his ass beat a lot? And I'm like, well, here's the thing. In the trailer, there's a character called Metamorpho, and if you see in the trailer, one of his hands actually is glowing green,
Right.
so he's using kryptonite.
That would make sense. That would make sense.
And then people are theorizing that there's a villain called Ultraman that might be a clone of Superman that Lex Luthor got his DNA from the Fortress of Solitude.
Okay.
So it's like kryptonite, and I think obviously everyone already knows Superman can only be beaten with kryptonite. Another Superman-like character, like Kryptonian, or magic in general.
Right.
But I think this is going to be a solid film. I think there's a lot of naysayers that think Zack Snyder's version of Superman was the only version that ever should exist.
I feel like that's kind of a big thing to say. Like that's.
Oh, the Snyder fans are like all about.
You know, I've never seen the Schneider cut of the film.
It's actually not bad.
I've never seen it of the Justice League.
Yeah, I actually.
I've
have
never seen the Schneider cut.
I actually have the Blu-ray version of that too, but it's actually not bad. I actually liked it a lot. She
Interesting.
couldn't sit through it because of how long it was,
Right.
but it took me like
Like the extra parts.
yeah, I mean it took me 2 days to finish it.
Wow.
It's like 4 hours,
Yeah.
and for some weird reason, this is what also bothered me why I had to like take breaks from it. It's not filmed in widescreen or full screen. It's in like a 4:4 ratio.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was just a square the entire time, and I'm like, I get it, artistic. I don't give a fuck. Make this movie bigger.
I don't know what's happening over here.
She just pointed to her coochie.
She did. I said, do you have like coloring books? Oh,
Coloring books.
What?
Coloring books. There's a coloring book and crayons in the bag right there.
yeah, we can split the crayon back.
Anyways,
Love this.
speaking of crayons,
Yeah.
Anthony had a birthday party recently.
Wow. Did I?
That's kind of a weird way to phrase it, though.
That is.
But
We all just drew on coloring books the whole time.
you know,
It was pretty
that'd
sick.
be kind of a killer birthday party.
It was a pretty killer birthday party.
But you can't see it. But Anthony,
I had Crayola crayons. Everybody else had crazy art. That's because I'm better than them, actually. Oh,
I mean,
God.
I'll be. I mean, I'll be frank. Out of everyone,
That's rough.
Out of everyone we know, I would be the better artist.
Not with crayons.
What?
Swear to God.
Fuck you. But no, you guys can't see it though. But Anthony
It says like
actually
wax
hung
chalk
up-
on the on the box. Great value wax chalk.
Oh my God. But no, Kayla wanted to throw him a Harry Potter birthday party, and Anthony hung up a lot of candles.
Oh yeah, you can't see it right now.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll show you a picture of it.
Yeah, but you can definitely, like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 candles.
13. It's a
And
good
it-
number. Good strong number.
Oh, 16 candles. Yeah, 13.
No, not 16. No, just 13. 13's fine.
No, she's talking about the movie.
I know. I know.
But no, I think the party was really fun. A lot
That was
of
fun.
trivia.
Trivia, scavenger
you-
hunt.
I mean, you almost let the Slytherins win.
No, I didn't. Not even close.
So just,
I was like 2,000 points ahead of them. It wasn't even close.
but just to point out, this is what happened. The Slytherins ended up cheating
They were copying off of my answers.
because he was holding it like this. He was holding his phone like this. We were doing.
I
it on Kahoot.
wanted both the phone and we were okay. This was Kahoot, by the way, just so people understand. We were doing trivia on Kahoot, and I wanted the phone and the TV to both be in my field of view simultaneously. So I held the phone up next to the TV, and the Slytherins, because they're slimy little gits,
Ruben.
were copying off of my phone the answers that I put in, and they came in second place. So good on them.
Well, they at least put the Hufflepuffs in their place
Yeah, well, yeah.
because the Hufflepuffs were acting a lot like Slytherins at that point.
We were actually trying.
No, you weren't.
Yes, we were.
You said Professor Snake.
That was. Oh yeah, what did they put? Professor Snare.
Listen. If I'm being 100% honest, your biggest mistake was having Izzy be the one to answer the questions.
I was pressing a button.
You were? Oh, then that was a mistake.
Wow. Backpedaling is a skill, I think. And sometimes you can backpedal with finesse, and sometimes you can backpedal like a brick going through a window, which is what we just saw.
God damn. So how old are you now?
I am 27, my late 20s
27.
at this point.
3 more years. Mm-hmm. And then he has to go to England to visit the real Hogwarts.
When I'm 30? Why specifically 30?
Well, you have to do something big for your 30.
Okay.
I didn't do nothing.
What, you mean go like visit the sets? Like the Harry
sets?
Potter set?
Yeah.
Okay. That'd be cool. Yeah, that'd be a cool 30th birthday trip.
Yeah, she'll love going back to like that area.
England? Engleland? Oh my
You're
god.
going when it's cold. That's the best time to visit.
Christmas time.
You're 27, 3 years. What's my
We'll circle back.
28?
28. So she has 2 years.
This is like springtime, so it'd be pretty good to go.
For him?
In England?
Right now?
He's a summer baby.
May is like.
No, May's the beginning of summer.
And it's like more like the end of spring.
End of spring, beginning of
Either
summer.
way, I think May would be a fun time to go.
Maybe.
Not as
We'll see.
I can't wait to visit
Yeah.
England. I have a friend
Could be.
who lives there.
go on your birthday.
Yeah, I don't know why you have such an aversion to the cold. Just wear warm clothes.
That's because they're Floridians. They love the heat.
Why is this we? I'm fine. I was doing great.
Who's we?
These girls.
You got a mouse in your pocket?
No, that should.
Whatever you want to do.
All right, perfect.
But then
Thank
we
you.
gotta figure out what to do for your 30.
Yeah, what do you want to do? Tropical. Oh god.
Mexico.
Oh.
Right now, let's see where we're at.
Ooh, actually, that would be a good idea for you guys to take her to what was that place we went to, Ari? On the cruise ship in Mexico? Was it Mexico?
To the ruins?
No,
Cozumel?
no, the little island theme park, water park.
Oh, Coco Cay.
Yeah.
No, Coco Cay.
That'd be
We should go to Atlantis. Should go to Atlantis. The theme park Atlantis. It's
I
an
was about to
island.
say.
Yeah.
It's like I didn't know if you were trying to see if she'd believe you or not.
No, there's like an island theme park in the Caribbean called Atlantis, and
Honestly,
it's like a big water park.
I
theme
would
park thing.
love to visit it just because of the name.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
You've heard the story.
Honestly, hoping I'm a mom by the time I'm 30, so I don't know. That's a good place.
I'll give you.
They can stay home.
I'll,
They don't have to go on every trip we go on.
Listen. Listen, if you actually have kids by the time you're 30, your parents will kidnap your kids.
I'm sure we'll take them on trips, but we'll go on trips of our own.
Well, to be
as
fair,
well.
when you have kids, especially at that young of an age, you don't want to take them to places like that. Because to be honest, you're not going to enjoy yourself.
Correct.
And then you want to put them in the water.
We'll see what happens. Yeah. man makes his plans.
Anyways, so apparently,
And God laughs.
so I'm
That's
going
the
to go
end of the
through a
phrase.
couple different news.
I thought you were gonna say nudes for a second.
You want to see the nudes?
No, I'm
I
all right. I'm okay. I'm all right. We'll save that for later.
I know the angles to take.
No, that's all right. We'll save that for later on. That's the special subscription for the fans.
Oh yeah, Patreon.
Patreon. Artistic nudes on Patreon. That should be a Cards Against Humanity card.
Oh yeah. But this is something I think you'd be really excited about.
I hope so.
So I'm gonna tease it a little bit before I actually reveal what it is.
Don't tease me.
Oh, I like
No,
teasing
no.
you.
No.
But this character is confirmed to officially be in the next season, and there's a chance 2 other characters might also be confirmed, mainly because they're in New York City at the same time.
Oh, what are we talking about?
Jessica Jones is officially confirmed to be in Daredevil.
Oh, sick.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't watched any more episodes since we watched episodes together.
So she wasn't.
Well, I haven't been able to either because we haven't had access to Disney Plus. So,
Oh, just use Izzy's.
well, yeah, we haven't logged into Izzy's, but we do have other means of watching television now. So, the bootleg. We have it in the room. It's not out here.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I didn't.
Yeah, it wouldn't for some reason hook up to the whatever subscription our parents have. We couldn't get it to work on the Apple TV. It just would not, no matter what we did. But we did get it to work on my Google TV.
Hold on a second.
Real quick, just in case. Cut any part of that out. Mentioning bootleg.
Oh, yeah.
That way, nothing.
It's trace.
Yeah.
Friendly reminder. Friendly reminder.
Did the AC blow out?
Apple hates you.
Oh yeah, Apple sucks.
Apple hates us all.
But
What are you guys freaking out about? This is literally Kayla's never this giggly and
that's because her sister's here.
yeah, you guys are just going nuts over here in the background. I don't know. She just looks at you and starts laughing.
Did the AC go out because there was a fan going and it just stopped randomly?
Yeah, it probably reached the temperature that the room is set to.
Yeah, sometimes the AC just stops randomly.
Not randomly. It's,
Well, you know what I
it's
mean.
It's making her nervous.
That the AC turned off. It's on automatic.
But yeah, Jessica Jones is officially confirmed.
Okay.
She's actually been spotted on set with Charlie Cox in the
Okay.
Daredevil outfit.
That's pretty sick. Yeah.
And it is these other actors, Finn Jones, and I don't know his name, but the guy who played Luke Cage, they have been spotted to be in New York City for some reason at the same time.
Wow. Okay.
So there's a good chance that Heroes for Hire is also coming back. So we might be seeing the Defenders come back for a whole reunion.
Okay, that'd be pretty sick.
I hope more heroes too. To be
I hope
honest.
maybe if they bring Shang-Chi in, that'd be pretty sick.
Shang-Chi, Moon Knight.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that'd be pretty sick. I'd like that a lot.
Oh no, isn't Moon Knight in Europe?
He doesn't have to be.
No, but wasn't he in Europe last time?
I think maybe. Okay.
What the fuck are you guys doing?
What is going on?
I don't know. I just fixed the painting. It was crooked.
That's not a painting.
It's more of a print, really. Yeah. It's a canvas, though. Sure. Yeah, I see that.
Anyways, moving on from that bit of news.
What's going on?
Villains
Villainous.
have been these 3 villains have been not officially confirmed, but more than likely is the most likely confirmed ones to appear in Spider-Man 4.
Okay.
Basically, they're not confirmed yet, but people are saying that this is more than likely the ones that are going to be confirmed to be in it.
All right.
Scorpion,
Okay.
Boomerang,
All right.
which is really just fodder villain, and Tombstone.
Okay. Gotcha.
And people are saying that with Tombstone, there's a good chance that they might throw Mr. Negative in there to have gang wars.
Oh wow.
And honestly, if they have gang wars, I kind of hope they do Hammerhead too.
Hammerhead would be pretty sick.
Yeah, but yeah, no, that was
Okay.
news recently broken recently, and
Recently broken. Recently.
just to say, I'm under the weather, so pardon me if I mix my words up. Shut the hell up. Shut the hell up, Diddy.
Hello, Kitty. She said. No. He said Diddy, which is the thing. He was like, "We're not gonna bring up Diddy," and he immediately. No, he didn't say Hello Kitty.
Ooh, I should have said that though. Shut up, Hello Kitty. Anyways,
I feel like the energy's gone. You know.
Huh?
I feel like the momentum. We lost the momentum here.
that's because my throat's actually starting to bother me now. But it's okay. It's okay.
You all right?
Yeah, I'll be okay.
Okay.
Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars.
What if you have strep throat?
I don't. I have whatever the fuck's been passing on it everywhere.
Yeah, I thought I had. Never mind, it's fine.
Where were you going with that?
I said I thought I had strep throat.
Then why didn't you just finish that sentence?
Because I didn't want to freak anyone out.
Well,
I never had a fever, which is why I came to the conclusion it wasn't strep.
No, my HR lady at work also had something very similar to what Ari had.
right.
So it's definitely something that's been going around everywhere. But it seems like all it's really doing is like making people tired and exhausted, which really happened to me yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, and almost losing your voice for a little bit.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I mean, at least, if Kayla gets it, you're going to have a peaceful night.
No. No, it wouldn't be peaceful.
Hesitation. Yeah, it was.
No, it's all right. I love the sound of her voice.
I know. That's so sweet.
Oh,
Hey, that's what you want to do. 'Cause
just close your eyes.
you know what I sound like when I sleep.
It's more like
How would you know?
And Michael would make fun of me.
I would actually. Instead, all I
Just
hear
imagine the blackmail recordings.
instead all I hear is this.
No, that's you.
No, it's not me. Mine are louder.
You ever get startled by your own fart, Michael? I feel
Yeah,
like.
actually.
Yeah. I
Every
thought so.
every time I fart in my sleep, I wake up.
I have a hard night too when I get to bed and he's like, and I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Fumigating the apartment.
God, he says he's awake, but he's not.
No, it wakes me up when it happens. It's like every
It
time
surprises. It surprises even him.
it does. And the worst part is that Izzy is gonna have to hear it because we're going to Epic Universe in 2 weeks.
Oh wow.
So
I'm not.
Well, yeah, that's gonna suck. But Izzy will sleep with Kayla.
Okay. It was odd phrasing.
You know what the way Izzy made it sound like though?
What?
He's like, you know what the good thing about having a gay friend? You can cuddle them and they won't get hard.
What?
Talking about sleeping with Kayla.
Hmm. I don't know if all that needs to be going on.
I'll take that.
Hmm.
Cuddling. He also thought I cooked the lizard for ashes.
Yeah, he legit said that to Ari. He found out we had he found out we had Ninjago who passed away in one of our last episodes. He he found out that we actually had him cremated, and Izzy actually asked Ari, "Did you cook him? Did you cook him? Is that how you got the ashes?"
Did you cook him? Yep. That's it. We threw him in the oven, set it to 500, and waited.
Safe to say, I don't know if I just got burnt marks or just a whole lizard right there.
Oh Jesus!
Rest in
What
peace.
temperature do crematoriums have to get to? Dude?
No, I don't want to
Can we can we look that up?
I thought this was about nerdy shit. All we did was watch the Superman trailer.
That's pretty nerdy.
No, I talked
Now
about.
we're talking about farts
No.
and cremation.
No, I
I'm
talked
just
about
curious as to what temperature a crematorium has to get to. You know,
I talked about Spider-Man, Daredevil. and-
Right.
And I was about to mention the news about.
Right into farting in our sleep.
you know,
Listen,
tangents. We
I'm
gotta
gonna
have a
tell you
little
right
bit
now,
of those.
That pizza, you're gonna be smelling that when we go to bed.
I'm still curious about that. Anyway, all right.
Yeah,
what's,
I was gonna reveal to you the Avengers news, the news that most people are disappointed in, but they understand.
what's that?
They got delayed.
Of course.
Yeah.
Wait, didn't we mention that already?
No,
Well,
No,
there
you
was
were-
something
you-
else that got delayed.
no, you were buzzed when you were talking to me, and I mentioned it to you, and you had that look like.
Oh, hold on. You're talking about, you mentioned it at the party.
Yeah.
You mentioned it at the party. Yes. I was like, I know I've heard this before. Yeah. No, it's not surprising.
And just so everyone knows, Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars has been delayed to December 2026 and December 2027. So I don't know. I don't know what they're planning to do in between, because now are they going to delay Spider-Man? Because people are saying it might take place in like during Doomsday.
Yeah. Well,
So it's hard to say what they're going to be doing
delays.
to like fix things up.
Delays. You know, I mean, I don't know. I kind of brought this up with reference to games before. I mean, I'm not always super against like delays as long as it's for a good reason,
As long
and
as
I'm
they
gonna
prove
get a better
worthy.
quality product after it does finally get finished. Same thing like with games and stuff. Like if I had to choose between the project being delayed and getting a crappier product, I would probably choose just letting it get delayed and then not getting a crappy product.
Yeah. But I mean, even if it's delayed, though, it doesn't mean it's always going to be great.
That's true. That's true.
I mean, look at Snow White.
like I said, and that's the worst case scenario. So if you delay the project a lot and then it's still garbage at the end, yeah, we have a problem.
Or Cyberpunk 2077.
Lost all trust in it. Well, they rushed it. They were like, oh, okay, here you go, and it was an incomplete product, glitchy and terrible,
But
impossible
now
to play.
It's perfect.
And now it's great. Now it's great. Like if you've never played Cyberpunk 2077, really now's the time. Like it's about as good as it's gonna get. Like all the bugs and everything are fixed. The storyline's great. They've got DLC and all that stuff. It's pretty cool.
And
it's
I
a cool
mentioned it,
game.
too, because I saw it on your computer.
Yeah, I was re-downloading it. I wanted to test that. Oh, I got a new graphics card for my computer.
Ooh,
so I wanted
finally.
Thank you. I also need to get a new. I want to get a new CPU.
No, you know you need to try it on?
CPU Mobo combo to upgrade it
Starfield.
further. Yes,
Because that's
but
the one you always talk about.
yeah, so I got a new graphics card, and that will help. But my new graphics card, I think, is really going to shine once I get a new CPU and motherboard.
Yeah.
So that's rather than the next thing I'm looking at. I want to get a new CPU motherboard and upgrade my RAM. And man, I think that'll be pretty good at that point. I think I'll be pretty happy with that. So at that point, then I can really test it out, and try games like that. And Starfield's probably going to be optimized even further by the time that I get all that sorted out. Like it's another one of those examples of like the game came out like completely under optimized. You know what I mean? And it was difficult to play even if you had a good machine to
Right.
play it on. But there have been patches and things, and it does run smoother now. And I'm able to play it on my Xbox just fine if I want to. I did play it for a little bit. It doesn't have the same kind of magic that I would have hoped for from things like
Skyrim.
from Skyrim, Fallout, and stuff like that. And although I may go back to it and try it again, I do love Bethesda. I love their stuff, so I'll try it again and see if I can't get into it. But I think consistently people have kind of expressed that it's not as good as some of their other like headliners, like Elder Scrolls and Fallout.
Yeah. Because I mean, I feel like Starfield might be like a one-off.
It seems like it is a one-off. I think they were trying to go for like a Space Odyssey, space opera, but have it give it like the same kind of vibes as like kind of like Fallout. It's kind of like that modern, high tech version of that. So kind of like in the same vein, open world, a lot of dialogue, a lot of interaction, a lot of different quests that you can go on, and a whole galaxy to explore essentially. And that was kind of the idea. Like, it was supposed to be a vast, detailed, explorable game that gives you a lot of really interesting quests and lore. And I feel like the scale that they were working on didn't work with the time frame that they had for themselves. They did like complete the game, but I think that if they'd really given themselves the same kind of amount of time and detail that they would for like the Elder Scrolls or Fallout, particularly with the Elder Scrolls. I mean, look how long it's taken to get Elder Scrolls 6. Mm-hmm. I think if they'd really put that same amount of effort and time into it, they could have had a better fleshed out game. Or if they had dialed the scale back a little bit.
Yeah.
Then they could have made it better. They wanted this vast feeling of this like galaxy to explore kind of feeling, and I think that they could have done it, but not within the time frame that they did it. I think that there's, they needed to spend more time creating a more detailed and interesting main storyline, as well as all of the side quests and things like that. I think that, while it is vast and there's a lot of, things, but it feels like a lot of it's kind of like hollow. A lot of the characters are kind of like hollow characters. They have very simple dialogue lines and everything like that. And, I don't know. Yeah, I think it could have been better. Mm-hmm. I think it's not terrible. It's a pretty game.
Yeah.
But could have been better. I think it could have been executed a little bit better.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of, it just came to my realization because we were talking about video games. Mm-hmm. The week after we get back from Epic Universe, we'll have the video game showcase that they usually do for Netflix that we can talk about afterwards. Mm-hmm. Summer Game Fest.
Summer Game Fest.
Some people watch the Super Bowl.
It literally happens almost every time. Like we actually realized that we could have actually went and saw it. Like, went to the showcase when we were in California.
When we were in California, because they do it
California.
at, like, June 4th,
which is like, was it usually June 4th?
It's like right after 2 years ago, right?
Yeah.
I would totally go to California again. But actually, wait, how did we get to Starfield? What was the question? What was the story I did?
Oh, I was telling you about my computer.
Oh yeah, we were talking about Cyberpunk and then Starfield.
Yeah, I got Cyberpunk. I'm downloading on there. I just want to test it out with the new graphics card. But I did get a new graphics card. I think it's an RX 6600.
Mm-hmm. I hope it works out well for you.
AMD Radeon.
Mm-hmm.
So far, yeah, it's great. I installed it and downloaded the new driver. And it seems good. It seems great.
That's
you know
good.
what I mean?
But since you talked about Starfield, I'll actually talk about this a little bit.
Right.
I know you started it,
mm-hmm.
but I'm like halfway through the game now. I started playing Doom, the Dark Ages. And compared to Doom Eternal and Doom 2016, it took me a while to really start to enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
And there's some aspects of the story I'm like, why the fuck are we skipping through this?
Right.
Like, it's kind of weird because, like, at the end of one of the missions, something happens to the Doomslayer, and then he comes back to kick some ass.
Right.
The cutscene ends right there. Mission over. Go to the next chapter. Completely ignores everything that just happened, and you're in a whole new segment.
Okay.
But the shield is becoming a lot of fun to use. I've upgraded the shield fully now. Now I'm doing runes to actually make them stronger.
Mm-hmm.
Fully upgraded the sawed-off shotgun. Honestly, that's always been my baby. I've always went to that. And I don't think they did this in the other Doom games, but the fact that you can actually, like, dash towards an enemy, it makes the shotgun so much easier to use.
Yeah.
I've been pulverizing the fuck out. Like, I now have, like a set gameplay mechanic that I do with myself to basically know how many times I'll do a combo, basically. Like the fat, the fat ones.
Yeah.
What I'll do is I'll throw the shield at them, shoot them once, then dash at them, and then shoot them again, and they'll have that purple highlight around them just to knock them out.
Yeah.
But
They do make it pretty easy to dash as well, because like when you use the shield, you dash towards the enemy, and same thing when you melee. So for both of those actions, you'll jump closer to the enemy to do that. So it does make it really easy to get into close range, which is really nice. It's fun. I think it's fun.
I like how
Very
there's more of a story this time.
tactile.
I like how there's more of a story this time, though.
Yeah, no, yeah. So far, like I'm not very far into it, but so far the story is pretty interesting. Clearly, there's like something wrong, like he's being controlled somehow with whatever device they have in his chest. You know, so
Yeah, and I feel like this is definitely going to show because have you played Doom Eternal?
no. This is like the first Doom game that I've really played.
So once you're done with playing this, I would suggest playing Doom and Doom Eternal because the makers, those angelic-like creatures that aren't from hell, obviously,
Right.
they play a big part in Doom Eternal.
That makes sense.
And I feel like everything that they're setting up here basically makes everything make sense in Doom Eternal.
Yeah, I
without
feel like
saying
they're
too
playing
much.
with fire. Like
Oh.
controlling him the way that they are, I think they're really, really playing with fire. And they mention it already in one of the cutscenes that he's becoming more resistant to their control device. I think it's going to end very badly for them.
Oh, he'll just get pissed off. He'll just get pissed off right away if he breaks out of control, which
Yeah.
obviously he will at some point.
Obviously, I think that's going to be kind of like the whole point. Like, you know, this kind of sets up some of the hatred that he has in that direction, and I think that it's going to give us some sweet retribution towards the end, some catharsis.
Oh, yeah. But I will say, I've unlocked the entire weapon wheel. Weapon wheel.
Weapon wheel.
I've been having some I've been slurring my words. Obviously, I saw your little chuckle.
I didn't do anything.
I didn't unlock all of the alternate versions of the weapons, but
Right.
so far, I have a feeling that this gun does not exist in this game, or at least a form of it. The BFG.
Okay.
I don't think the BFG exists in this version.
You don't think so?
So far,
Dad, do you know what that stands for?
big fucking gun.
I figured that.
I don't think it actually stands for that, but I call it that because that's what they called it in the Doom movie with The Rock. I think there's an actual term for it,
There's
but
a Doom movie with The Rock.
yeah, there's a Doom movie with The Rock. You never seen it?
No.
It's,
No, I have not. Is it good?
no.
I didn't think so.
And then they tried to do it again.
Oh no. The
And-
Rock again?
No. It's just a complete like they tried to reboot it again, and it's like they don't understand the fact that these are just demons in hell.
Yeah.
Like they basically turned. So the Doom movie, they go to Mars. They kept that part kind of similar,
Right.
but basically they're not demons. They're infected zombies
Okay.
in a sense.
Sometimes I just like it's one of those things where like people try to make creative changes when they try to do a different rendition of something, when they make like a movie version of a video game or when they reboot a movie. Like I think that sometimes like they feel the need to use creative license to create a fresh product out of an old IP, and I think that like they change the things that they don't need to change, and they don't change the things that they could change to affect a good result. Like I think that there are certain things that when you're making a different kind of adaptation that you can change and should change that makes a better experience overall. Because obviously a video game has a different pacing to a movie, and that has a different pacing to a book. Like there are ways to change it to help make it fit the format better. But then there are certain things that's like there was no reason to change it other than
Exactly.
you decided to for some reason. Like whether they were demons from hell or some kind of infected zombie, does it really like change who the Doomslayer is and what he's about and what he's
Oh,
there to do?
no.
But you could have taken just that one little step to be more faithful to the source material, but you didn't.
Actually, that's the funny part. There is no Doomslayer.
What?
The main character is Carl Urban.
I'm sorry?
So there is no Doomslayer in the movies.
That what?
They're just Marines. Carl Urban is the main character. His sister puts something in his bloodstream, and he turns into a first-person shooter.
That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life.
And this is the other thing that makes no sense. They treat the main thing you see is zombies. And, you know, in Doom, there's a whole... It's literally no zombie-looking creatures. It's all demons. In the movie, they only have 2 demons. Pinky and the one that's like the iconic monster that's on most covers.
Right.
And that's it. And then the main villain's The Rock, who just gets a little bit more animalistic.
I've never seen this.
Speaking of,
Sounds dumb. Sounds really dumb.
speaking of, I was thinking about this. You know something we should try as a podcast? Film a
Shawarma.
first reaction
Oh, it's like a
Oh.
trailer?
to a movie.
Oh, yeah. I used to love that. Oh, yeah, I remember you used to watch the movies. Yeah.
I mean, that'll be some interesting.
So like
cut.
what? What
Like
would we watch?
Like watching Doom. I mean, we could have done it for How to Train Your Dragon, to be honest, too.
We could have. We could have done that. You know what we should try? Shawarma.
Ooh, you know what we should try doing a first reaction to?
Shawarma, huh?
You know what we should do a first... Actually, I tried... That was my first time trying shawarma, even though it probably is, like, not fully... Probably, you know, more like theme park shawarma, really.
Right.
But the one at California Disney,
Okay.
that was pretty fucking good.
Very good.
I was like, you know what? I got to try it. And that was amazing.
Very good. Yeah, shawarma. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've never had it. You know, so, you know, he was like, "What should we try?" And I was like, "You know, shawarma."
But you know we should have a first reaction to?
What?
And they both have to apply to it?
What?
Lord of the Rings.
I told you which one I was.
We're not watching that one.
I love the Lord of the Rings. It's an excellent film. I don't really understand the issue. I don't understand.
I don't understand the hate.
I don't get it.
What are they going to do when you want to see the Gollum movie?
Not go.
Wow. Fair with the friends, I see. Oh, aren't you sweet?
I will say this, though. Andy Serkis better be the one playing him.
Yeah, no.
Like, he's the only one that could play Gollum.
He's gotta. It's gotta be him. Is his name pronounced that way?
What, Gollum?
No.
Oh, Andy Serkis?
Circus.
Andy Serkis?
I don't know. Probably.
So, before we jump into
Let's just hope that, as I'd like to watch like Lord of the Rings films with you, but it was a little difficult the first time I tried.
Oh, you tried?
Well, I tried watching The Hobbit. I was like, maybe this will be a little easier, a little bit more palatable, and did not go well.
What about the other times? You've been showing me a lot of stuff.
Yeah, and a lot of that's going fine, but
Yeah, but Lord of the Rings is like his bloodstream.
you were like, no, it's boring.
No,
Harry
that's-
Potter is definitely one of the things that, you know, Harry Potter's not the only thing I like, right? No, it's okay.
It's like Spider-Man in my blood.
But yeah, no, I love Lord of the Rings. I love the Lord of the Rings where I love Middle Earth and all that. It's I think it's great. I think it's fantastic. I love the Hobbit movies as well.
You know the best way you can possibly talk her into it? It's like Game of Thrones, but without the sex and the incest. You get the midgets.
The midgets, he says. Okay.
But
Well,
I mean, like the drama.
I think it's an excellently written story. It's very like story driven, script driven. You know what I mean? So like you're not gonna get a lot of you get some pretty cool like crazy like action scenes, but that's not like the driving force of the films in my opinion. The Hobbit, it's a little more so. They have some big, pretty epic action scenes and stuff like that. In the Lord of the Rings films, I feel like it's a little bit like, I mean, they had to work with what they had for the time, but I think it was a lot more driven by the stories and the motivations of the protagonists as opposed to the fight scenes and stuff. Although there were some really good fight scenes and action scenes as well. You know, I don't know. Maybe it's not everybody's cup of tea. I can understand that. You know, I think they're excellent films. I think that if you have the patience to sit through and watch it, I think that the story is very cohesive, very well written, very well executed, and like it's a story that you can feel good about having completed once you get to the end of it. Like, you know, it just You know,
Mhm.
I don't know. There's something about it. There's a certain magic to it, if you will.
That's why I liked finishing Fellowship of the Ring, but I need to see the extended version.
Yeah, I've seen all the extended editions in there. They're good. They're really good.
Though it's probably gonna be like the Snyder cut, where I can't watch it all in one day. I have to split it.
When I watch them for not all of the films at once, but each of the films I watched all at once. With some friends of mine, we actually made like a whole thing of it. So like over the course of
Like Jalen and
of a
Alex.
few weeks, like we got together each week, and sat down, and for a whole evening, each of those evenings, we sat down and watched a whole film of the extended edition.
I feel like you definitely got to get like a whole bunch of pizza or wings and all
Yeah,
that
no,
shit.
yeah, we it was a whole thing. You know, we got together, we had snacks and food and stuff like that, and we sat down and we watched the films together.
Honestly, that sounds like a lot of fun.
It was really nice. You know, for a bunch of guys who were into the Lord of the Rings and everything like that, and that was like my experience watching the extended editions. You know, it was a great experience. I thought it was great. I thought it was fantastic.
But before we get into one of the big sections of this podcast episode, I want to do a quick review on not the movie we just saw, but a recent movie that me and Ari saw.
Okay.
Ohana. Lilo and Stitch.
Oh,
So
I've heard mixed things.
I think it's no hidden truth that Disney live action remakes have been shit. Like Snow White, abysmal. Mulan completely forgot the whole
They took out Mushu. That's all I needed to know.
take out Mushu, and Mulan just has magical powers and doesn't learn that she can be just a strong female without powers, which I just feel like was stupid. And Lion King was a shot-for-shot remake, which honestly made it boring and no emotion whatsoever. And Mufasa was the Land Before Time, so...
What?
I explained this.
Oh God.
Like, it follows a lot of the same story beats the Land Before Time did. They even defeated the villain with the rock and water.
No.
What?
I've not seen Mufasa, but
I always wanted a Oh, and Lin-Manuel, his music sucked in that movie.
yeah, Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's dropping the ball on his music recently. Like, he needs to stop. Anyways, Lilo and Stitch.
Okay, Lilo and Stitch.
Now, I think out of the people in this room, me and Kayla probably are the bigger fans of Lilo and Stitch. And, you know, I love the original movie to death. And I will say this outright. The live action movie doesn't live up to the first one, obviously.
Is it the same story?
Honestly, that's what I like the most, is that it felt like it followed the story almost beat for beat.
Yeah.
But it was still different enough to not be the same story. Like, they did change up a couple things.
There were some things, and there were a few things that were changed, and that were brought up to me, and that made a lot of sense why the person didn't like that about the film. So, like, there were they kind of like didn't like the arc, like, for Stitch, from being like kind of an a-hole to being,
You know, that was
like, they kind of didn't really follow the same arc. They completely took out the ugly duckling.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that until after, like, days later.
Which was a big part of his growth as a character.
I think if they left that in, then I feel like his growth of a character would have been more suffice.
And this is like me. This is all secondhand. But I saw somebody's kind of little review of the film, and so you mentioned that they took that out, and they also, like, based on what he said, I can't remember what channel this was that I was watching this video on.
Jeremy Johns.
That they basically ruined Nani's character. You know what I mean? So, like, there were things in the original film that Nani was doing and taking care of that really showed how much she cared for Lilo. Like, in the original film, Nani took Lilo to the pound to get a dog. Nani advocated for her to be able to name him Stitch, even when the lady at the desk was saying that's not a real name, you can't name him that, or whatever, stuff like that. She did these things, like, she was trying to make food for Lilo. She was fighting to be there with Lilo. That was the whole point of Nani's character. She wanted to be a good mother figure to her sister. She wanted to be a good family member to her sister, and she was doing everything she could. You know, she was working, she was taking care of Lilo, she was doing everything she could to be there for her. All right, and the whole conflict of the story, the original conflict of the story, was the fact that the social worker, who for some reason apparently isn't Cobra Bubbles anymore, was wanting to take Lilo away from Nani. And at the end of the live action film, Nani leaves anyway. She goes and it's like, okay, great, but that kind of defeats the purpose of the original themes of the story.
Okay, wait. I'm glad that you already know that, because
Okay, but Kayla did.
no, that gives me full leeway to finally talk about it.
Didn't know that, no.
That gives me full leeway to talk about it. Because I've been seeing that complaints everywhere, and the people who say they saw the film didn't watch the film. Not saying you, because like you made it clear that this is second.
This is all secondhand information.
Secondhand smoke, basically.
Secondhand smoke. Secondhand smoke? Like, okay, I think I see what you're trying to say.
So,
Sorry.
So
Spoilers.
I would say Nani.
I gotta plug your ears.
Or you should have took me to see the movie.
When?
Yeah, when?
When was that supposed to happen? Okay.
After your party.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, 2:00 in the morning.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
But I would say Nani, compared to her in the animated film, she's definitely more of a sister trying to be the adult in the whole family aspect.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think Nani in the animated movie is definitely more older, like early 20s. And this one comes off like she's just like turned 18, trying to deal with this life that she now has to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she's trying to be there for Lilo and be able to support her and Lilo to where Lilo and her don't get separated.
Yeah.
Because of the whole Ohana, no one gets left behind kind of aspect.
Mm-hmm.
The social worker is actually played by the original voice actress of Nani, which, I thought I was actually surprised how much screen time she had.
Yeah.
Cobra
But that's
Bubbles,
another thing. It's like Cobra Bubbles feels kind of pointless.
He
know what I
actually
mean?
he actually kind of was. And
Right, because he's not as invested in the family as he was in the animated film, because he's not the social worker.
And that was
You
the
know what I
weird
mean?
thing. And I don't want to get too far into spoilers for Kayla, but when you get to the ending, it kind of is like, you barely know these people. I can't say too much
Seriously.
about that, but
And I don't know if is it okay if I speak? No Captain Gantu.
so
The villain is
Jumba.
why? Jumbo was basically part of the family at the end of the animated film. He does in this movie, yeah.
I will say
But he was never meant to be the villain.
How's the
Even
little
Zach
gay thing?
Galifianakis was like,
How's the little gay thing?
I think Pleakley was. I think so.
Pleakley? The little gay thing?
Okay, so
You know exactly what I'm talking about.
The
He was
little
perfect.
gay
so
thing?
here's the
He
thing.
knows me so well. That's just how I'm gonna describe these.
Here's the thing that I understand what the director was saying about Pleakley, is that sometimes the disguises don't work well in live action because it's hard to really make that believable in an aspect.
That part to me is fine.
But
That part to me is fine. That's not really the part I have issue with. I get why they, I get it for budget reasons, so they didn't have to do as much CGI, as well as it's harder to pull off those obviously fake disguises, in.
though I will say,
Although I think it still would have been possible.
he had a note about Jumba, and I'm like, why didn't they do that for the animated movie? Which he says, how Jumba has 4 eyes.
Yeah.
He said, well, when he wears his disguise, Jumbo will close his back eyes to make it look more normal. Why didn't they do that in the animated one?
Don't know.
That would have made a lot of sense.
But, it's just, that was weird for me. The whole,
What is CGI?
from what I was hearing in this video that I was watching, it was kind of like a flip switch. It was all kind of like they were kind of bumbling, and they had the whole dynamic duo going on, him and Pleakley. They had a lot of funny moments together. And then all of a sudden, Jumbo just becomes, laser killer. Just after them, his character completely changes into the full villain mode. And it's like, okay, and he was never the villain in the original. He was basically family by the end of it, because he decided to help
I think
Lilo,
I will say this. I think there's still a chance.
and in the show.
I think there's still a chance for that to change
I don't care. He doesn't have to.
because there is sequels being planned.
I hope so. I hope they fix it.
Can I say something?
I hope Captain Gantu is the villain in the next one.
As someone who's like a big fan of these like, not like Lilo and Stitch, I'm like a big Lilo and Stitch fan. I'm like a big fan of like all these animated Disney movies. So that's why I don't really love watching the live action movies. I haven't really wanted to sit down and watch a lot of them. Like even Lilo and Stitch, I love it so much, but I just feel like it ruins it.
Yeah.
It really takes away from it.
Well, I will say, like,
And I feel like that's what's gonna happen.
well, I will say this. I loved up until like even when Jumba turned into a twist villain, it wasn't until the climactic final fight where I'm like, huh?
Gary's terrible. That's what I mean, but I love it. But you know, you're looking for the Russian accent that he had, and he comes on screen, he's like, hang on.
Yeah, no, for real. That was another thing. He sounds like Zach Galifianakis. And instead of the deep Russian accent that we had from the originals.
See, I don't know if I can. It's not
Oh,
even scary.
but
I don't
the-
know if I can watch it.
But to answer your question, Pleakley, he was exactly what I thought he was gonna be. Flamboyant. They had him dress in a lot of weird outfits that Pleakley would dress up as.
Mm-hmm.
Like at one point I felt like he dressed up a lot like Izzy.
Also though, I heard that they really cut down. You know the opening scene in the original.
Oh yeah, they just jumped in.
They just like jumped into him
Oh.
having the police
was really
cruiser
weird.
instead of the whole scene where he was escaping, which was awesome in the original
so
film.
Here's the thing. Well, here's the thing. So this was originally supposed to be a Disney Plus film. So apparently Disney was like, okay, apparently this is getting some good reactions. Let's throw it in theaters. But the moment that rush there and the ending when Stitch is like, "Can Stitch say goodbye?" I was like, there's so much CGI in this scene. I feel like they don't want to. They're running out of budget and they want to make sure it's there and get it out.
That's kind of what it feels like, and it sucks because it feels like we're not getting the film that we were promised in some ways.
It gave more time to show like how everyone on the island knew Lilo and how she was a part of the community.
And the little girl, I will
I'm
say.
gonna be honest with you. I don't care.
No, wait. I will say this: the
That's not why I like Lilo.
the little girl who plays Lilo, though, like not a lot of kid actresses do a great job. She was amazing.
That's the thing, like,
But
you know.
in the movie, like it's the perfect amount of Lilo. I don't need to know more about how to count.
And the thing was, like, in the original, she was kind of an outcast. Like, she was kind of, you know what I mean? Also, what's his name? David?
Yeah, he's barely in the film.
Barely. And from the things that I saw, I mean, first of all, he looks like a kid. Throwing that out there.
To be
Second of all,
to be fair,
he
Dave-
wasn't nearly the same kind of like father figure that he was in the original films.
To be honest, I don't remember David that much. That's how memorable he was for me.
Part in the original.
He was a big in the original forms. He was a
I
big.
would say I wouldn't say he was.
He was the main love interest for Nani,
main love interest.
and he was a father figure who protected Lilo. He saved her when she was about to drown.
Oh yeah, I do remember that.
He taught them to surf. He was.
Still does, and he actually, Nani gets annoyed with Stitch more than David. David kind of sticks up for Stitch sometimes in this movie.
You should have the dog.
Yeah, but even so, like, I don't want to ruin some things, like, because when the movie changes, it's pretty accurate to like the original until you get to the scene where remember when like Stitch gets dragged under the water.
Yeah, he
That's
like
when
lets
it
her.
changes.
That's what I heard. He let her go in this one instead of like trying to climb on top of her.
He let her go instead of what?
I'm already spoiling things. You know what I mean?
Climbing on her.
No,
Yes. So that was one of the things I brought up where like the arc for his character growth was really kind of ruined because like they never allowed him to be the immature character that he was in the beginning.
No,
Like,
during that moment, he still was climbing on top of her because he was scared to drown.
Right.
So he was pushing her underwater.
right until
The cartoon?
No, until they pushed him off.
Yeah, that was in the cartoon as well, though, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but they kind of
The thing is, you know how
they kind of twisted. They kind of twist some scenes around. I don't want to say too much on that. But they do twist some things around, like certain things from the animated movie happen here and then happen here. That's the best way I can describe it. But in terms of what you were saying with Nani, so the lady she goes to the dog pound with,
Yeah, the neighbor.
apparently her name is Tutu.
That's David's mom.
David's
mom
no,
was in this a lot.
David's grandmother.
Yeah. Yeah,
So-
I heard about that.
She's more in the cartoon.
So that's what something that people
Like in
were.
the series. Was Angel?
No.
There's an Easter egg.
There's an Easter egg,
I love her.
and they might.
She wasn't in the original one. No, she was in the show.
Oh, Tara Strong actually said she was mad that she wasn't in the first movie, but she said she'll definitely come back if they bring Angel into the movies. But
Or Leroy.
Angel's so
Leroy was into that too.
Mm-hmm.
Maple's Angel.
I wouldn't say that. She's more like a Leroy.
No, Marty's like the guy with the sandwiches.
You're not wrong about that.
Leroy Jenkins.
But no,
Leroy Jenkins.
at least I had chicken.
It's a classic meme. Classic meme.
But no, so the whole thing with Nani giving up Lilo is that
That didn't sit right with me.
well, they were making a point that, and this is something that bothers me on some of the comments I've been like responding to because people.
What is going on? You know, you could have turned off the power strip just now.
I did it.
You could have.
I think you did.
No, it's still on.
Okay.
The board's still on here. Thank God. Oh my God, that would have been a disaster.
But they make it. They try to make it apparent that the fact that the neighbor is David and David's grandmother.
Right.
Is that she tells Nani like, look, we know you're struggling. Your house just got fucking destroyed.
Right.
So why not? I mean, we understand Ohana. We are your Ohana. But why not also focus on yourself? We can take care of Lilo so you can get the job you can get through college because she got a free pass to college, basically.
Sure.
And so they are basically telling her, focus on yourself so that way you can take care of Lilo when you get a better career.
It kind of feels like a cop out. Not gonna lie, like I
mean,
get it. Like I get it. It
Yeah.
does kind of tie up the end and
But it has
everything.
a better
Makes it
explanation than people
makes
saying,
it
like, she just
okay.
dropped her off to the government.
I get it, but it still feels like a cop out. All this
Yeah.
whole movie is about Ohana and staying together and being family, and it's like, well, actually, I'd rather go to college and leave you with my neighbor. Whoa,
Well, the thing is too is that
Ohana.
Nani was actually fighting them on it, saying like, no, I can't do that. But they were like, no, we want you to do that. Even Lilo wanted her to do that.
Okay, if my neighbor walked up to me and said, you should go to college and leave your kid with us, even if I love them to death, like,
It's not just the neighbor. Though. It's David and his mom.
yeah, I get that.
Which-
I get
which
that,
they
but
do-
still,
They do become like, I guess, dating by the end of the film.
you know what I mean?
He's a deadbeat.
Because I mean, to be honest, like let's think about this like from real life perspective. How old is Lilo?
Like 8, I think.
8-year-old girl, right? Let's
Yeah.
say 7 or 8. You know what I mean? Like when you're a kid, like you don't really see things that way. You know what I mean? What you see is your sister, father, mother, parental figure. What you see is them choosing to go off and do their own thing
She told her to.
in the film.
8 years old.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what they wrote. But not just because somebody writes it doesn't make the writing make sense. That's not a realistic reaction for a child.
Even if she, but even if
It's
was,
not.
It's not. Want to go the full out here? Spoiler, full.
I know there's a portal.
Okay, yeah, no, that's not what I'm
Ooh.
talking about. What happens is the final nail in the coffin was the fact that Lilo goes to the hospital.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Gets really sick, or not sick, but coma, whatever. I don't
No,
know what
it
it's
was
called.
after the drowning.
Right. And the hospital bill is too expensive for Nani, and even with the job that she has. So they say, we can help pay, but this kind of proves that you need to have someone else watch Lilo. And that's why that decision was made. The reason, which is realistic in the sense of that probably does happen in real life, the reason that people are so upset with that decision is not even because of that. It's because they feel that it's Disney inserting some sort of political commentary on Polynesian people.
But that's why I can't watch these remakes. I can't. Because why is that even necessary? Any of this? All of
Like it was a I guess the thing, it's a voluntary change to the original script.
Yes.
They're adding that in,
Right.
but because of what they added, they're like, well, we have to tie it up somehow, and we're gonna do it like this.
It's just like
You know what I mean?
unnecessary, yeah.
And it just doesn't feel like the same kind of film. It doesn't feel like the theme is supposed to be Ohana. It's supposed to be family, but all it is just like, you know, like the weakness of Nani and the weakness of the characters like that couldn't rise to meet the challenge. Like it is a failure to rise and meet the challenge, and somebody swoops in and saves the day for you. You know what I mean? Family didn't save the day unless, I mean, I get it. Yeah, the neighbor and David, they were Ohana, they were family. But you know what I mean? It just kind of feels like, you know, it feels like a different film at that point. It feels like it's not a remake. It just feels like a different adaptation of the story. Like they you know, I don't feel the Ohana in that. You know what I mean? I don't. I just like you spend a whole film wanting the family to be able to stay together. Like the original film, the way they wrote Nani, the way that she cared for Lilo, the things that she did for Lilo, that she cared for her feelings and what she was going through, you know, it showed just how much love she had for her sister and how much she was willing to sacrifice. You wanted to root for Nani. You wanted her to be successful. You wanted her to be able to keep Lilo. And at the end, there's that payoff where she does get to keep Lilo, right? Where she does get what she needs to make that happen, and they get to stay together, and Stitch too, and you know the other people who became a part of their Ohana along the way, they come and help support them by being. That's like where the neighbors becoming a part of their Ohana. That would make sense. They come together and as a whole family support each other and make it possible for them to stay together, right?
They just want to take a more modern, realistic look. Because realistically, what would actually end up happening is, yeah, they would probably send the 18-year-old or teenage girl to.
That's another thing. She didn't have to be an 18-year-old girl. Nani was like in her mid-20s in the animated film. Like there was no reason. They made her that way.
She was like a mommy.
That's okay. Alrighty. So that's the thing. It's like they
No, the lifeguard was mommy.
because of the changes they made to the characters, you know what I mean? That brought about the differences and weaknesses that brought about the kind of ending that they were going for. Like all of that was intentional. Like they didn't have to do it that way is the thing. They did, and it's fine. You know, when you start off with the way that they changed the characters, then a lot of what they did makes some sense, right? But then you go back to the beginning where you're like, okay, well, why did you have to change the characters? Why did you have to? You didn't. You had something you wanted to say through the medium of Lilo and Stitch, and you did. You successfully did say what you wanted to say, the people who wrote this remake. You know what I mean? And good on you. But again, it just doesn't quite feel like the same Ohana story that I came to love as a child.
But you know, the whole budget thing really upsets me about that climax.
Yeah, I
Because-
heard the budget was like kind of, if they were really trying to like with that was one of the reasons that they didn't do nearly as much CGI as they could have.
Well, the climax, like, it does not live up to the Gantu fight scene in the volcano.
Well, that's another thing. They didn't have Gantz.
Well, I mean, they could have turned it into like the same style.
Yeah. What now?
What?
But I mean, like, they could still, like, the climax, he could have still fought Jumba, like, with the volcano.
Yeah,
the
and I
propane
guess
tank and all that.
it doesn't feel quite the same when you don't have a 30-foot giant alien like.
But I will say this. I could see it where with the sequel, Dr. Hamsterville comes into play.
Uh-huh.
And Gantu is an enforcer of the Galactic Republic.
Yeah, I felt like Gantu. I felt like that's what they wanted to do. I feel like they wanted to use Gantu for like a sequel or something, and maybe that's why they decided not to have him in the original film, because they're really, instead of, it feels like they're trying to set up multiple films.
Yeah. I mean,
And
they
they're picking and choosing what they include in the first film so that they can set up the other films the way they want to. Which on one hand I understand what you're trying to do. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, plus, I mean, they even
I
hinted
don't
at
know.
the cousins, the
yeah.
other experiments.
Yeah.
So there's a chance that they're going to come into play.
Yeah.
I mean, if there's one cousin you have to use, it's going to be Angel, because she can be the backstabbing bitch.
Yeah.
Because she was like that in the animated show too.
Yeah.
Man, this is kind of off topic. I saw a meme of the TV show, and one of the experiments, he can't tell lies. That's his thing.
Okay.
and he starts like yapping about what Nani was saying.
Oh, and that Pleakley isn't a girl.
Yeah, no, he was like, and Aunt Pleakley, yeah, she isn't a real woman. And they're all like, the animated show.
Oh my goodness.
So funny.
But
I love that show.
But no, I think you would definitely love how they did Pleakley at least.
I think I'm gonna give it a chance and watch it. I'm just like, I don't know.
Dear Lord.
but yeah, no. If I had to rank, like, out of all the live action films I've seen in the last, I'd say if
That
I-
was consistently what they were saying, like about Stitch and his character design. That's consistently one of like the best parts of the film, according to everybody that I've heard talk about it. The best part of the film is how good Stitch looks. Yeah, yeah, him like voicing and everything like that. Like they got the original voice actor, like, and so like Stitch himself, from what I understand, is the best part of the film. He
Oh, yeah.
looks good. He sounds good.
That part in the movie, Happy Birthday, that part.
No, he doesn't say that.
No, I was actually annoyed by that.
Yeah.
They were.
You know, do they
like,
have the scene? There was the scene where he built the.
No, they were doing that whole fight scene, and I'm like, please.
Did they have the scene where he built a whole city out of blocks and rampaged through it like a kaiju?
Sandcastle,
Yeah, Sandcastle.
which is basically
Oh.
what they showed in the teaser trailer,
Okay.
because they were showing like a montage of him getting annoyed with water.
I guess, like,
And he just randomly kind of stumbles upon this like kind of sandcastle area, and it's like,
Yeah, like the
Okay.
movie is very consistent with the cartoon until Lilo and Stitch drown,
Gotcha.
and then it changes.
I
But
see.
the main part, which is my favorite, I like the beginning of Lilo
Oh,
and Stitch.
I do wanna
That's
correct something on
pretty
you.
accurate.
I do want to correct something on you. So you remember when Nani gets fired, and you're saying, well, at least it was Stitch, or at least it was what's his name, David. I saw the clip from the movie. It actually still was Stitch.
Oh.
He just put Pleakley's entire head in his mouth, and they thought that he was biting a woman,
Oh.
an ugly woman. So I will say this: Stitch still got Nani fired from her job.
Okay.
But but obviously, since Pleakley has a human head, they're not going to do that. But I will say this: he set the entire
not?
place on fire.
Okay.
Yeah. So they still weren't happy about that.
Fair. I mean, most of the time people don't like their building on fire.
Oh yeah.
But I will say, the place where they do the luau,
It looked
I
like the
think
one
it's
we
the
went
same
to.
place we went to.
Is it?
I really think it is.
We
That's
don't know if
pretty
it
cool.
is, but
No, but it looked exactly like
actually, someone pointed this out. What was the island we were on?
Oahu.
I think that's where the movie was filmed, and
Yeah.
because people
The
pointed
big
out,
one?
Well, people pointed out that they were pissed to find out it was on that island because the original one was supposed to be on another island,
Uh-huh.
Maui. Yeah.
they're not gonna do that.
So apparently it was on the. It could have been the same luau because it was
They
this.
all stayed at Aulani.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was called-
Do they have the Elvis scene?
It was in the credits.
Don't say no.
The scene was like in the middle of the movie in the first one.
He still looked good as Elvis though.
They did it at the
It's a
end,
big
so-
part of Stitch.
They still had
No,
to
no,
do that at
Elvis
the
is Elvis lingers.
The
throughout
Elvis scene
entire-
was like the scene where like he seemed to have been making so much progress and like people everything, but then the camera flash went off and he just went nuts, and then Leela was very disappointed in him at that point.
Yeah. No, Elvis still is like a big part of the films, but him dressing up as Elvis, they saved it for the after credits.
Interesting. Interesting.
That's the thing with like the record, like Lila's like, look what we know how to do, and he like opens
You
his
walk
mouth.
like an angel.
You talk like an angel.
Yeah. So, if I had to rank it, I'd say it's just a little bit like out of the recent films I've seen, it's a little better than Aladdin.
Okay.
Yeah, because I liked Aladdin a lot, but I didn't like the changes they did with making Iago the main monster villain at the end.
Yeah.
Because I would have preferred to see Jafar as a snake.
Yeah. Yeah, that would have been good.
That would have been badass. But to me, I still think Beauty and the Beast, and this is a remake that no one ever talks about, is 101 Dalmatians.
Remake.
No,
You talking about Cruella?
that's what I'm talking about. Everyone always mentions Cruella. They don't think about the Glenn Close one.
Oh, from 2003.
Yeah.
Like, no, I don't really. I mean, yes, I guess it is a remake. I don't even really think about it like that because it was so long ago.
I know, but
I've
they were
seen
so
those movies,
good.
yeah, and they were good.
Yeah, like no one ever mentioned that one. To me, that's still the best live action remake. Jungle Book, I don't remember much.
Jungle Book, weren't there like 2 different versions of that? Why?
There was the Jon Favreau one.
Well, the Disney one was good.
Oh no, the Jon Favreau one, and then the one that had.
There were like 2 different live actions of that,
and
right?
Andy Serkis, I think, directed the other one,
Yeah.
and I think he played. What the fuck is the tiger's name?
Shere Khan?
Shere Khan. I think he played Shere Khan too.
Okay.
He did a darker version of the Jungle Book.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I think. I'm pretty sure there were like 2 different versions of that. 2
One of
different.
them's the Disney.
And then
one
there
was
obviously
first.
the original animated one as well. Yeah. Yes.
But now, let's get into anime.
Animu.
Because the Crunchyroll Anime Awards just got done.
Oh
All
really?
the winners are out.
Oh snap!
So, let's see.
I didn't even know.
Neither did I. Until I started seeing it on TikTok.
Neither did I.
So, we're going to get to the ones that doesn't involve different voices like Brazilian, Arabic, Castilian, French, German, Hindi, Italian, and Latin.
Latin.
Yeah,
They have animes that are in Latin.
exactly.
Why?
I'm not getting into that.
Who's listening to that?
Spanish people. I don't know.
That's not Spanish. It's Latin.
I thought Latin was
Well, maybe
Spanish.
there's Spanish, like European Spanish, and then there's Latin American Spanish.
What about Satanism?
Oh, you think that's what they mean?
Yeah.
I guess, but why wouldn't they just say that then?
Well, it's like there's.
Latin is its own language.
Yeah, but maybe it's reading it wrong.
You might be. Could be.
Just the awards for anime.
Okay.
So, best English voice acting performance. So, the winner was Alex Lee, who voices Sung Jin Woo in Solo Leveling.
I knew it. I knew it.
You're gonna see a trend here.
I knew it.
Oh, don't tell me that. Best Japanese voice actress performance, Aoi Yuki, Mao Mao from the Apothecary Diaries. Best score, Solo Leveling.
It was
Best-
great. It was
Best
great.
anime song, which actually I think Anthony's gonna be mad on this one a little bit. Not fully, but a little. Atonoki, Creepy Nuts, Dan to Dan. I didn't know how to
Okay.
pronounce that at all. I don't even know why they have this fucking award. Like it's always the same fucking winner. Must protect them at all costs. Anya, from Spy Family. It's always the same one.
Spy Family last year?
Huh?
Did they have any Spy Family last year?
No. No, I think Spy Family season 2 ended. And they also had the movie.
I swore that was the year before.
Best supporting character, Fern. I feel like she's more of a main character. Frieren from Beyond Journey's End.
I feel like I need to watch more Free Run. I feel like I haven't watched very much of it.
Like the first episode.
Yeah.
We definitely do.
And I hear so many good things about it, so it's like,
Yeah, that's why I'm surprised I'm not seeing more of an uproar on the best anime.
Have you seen Delicious in Dungeon?
I saw quite a bit of it. I haven't seen all of it, but I've seen quite a bit of it.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of it, not all of it.
Yeah. I would, what I did watch, I was enjoying. So
Best main character, Sung Jin Woo from Solo Leveling.
yeah.
He's zaddy though. Like I understand. Like this man is something else, but
I swear to God. You haven't shown her Solo Leveling, right?
Huh?
You haven't shown her Solo Leveling, right?
No, I haven't shown her Solo Leveling. I have finished watching all of the episodes.
I
that
swear
are
to
out.
God,
I've
if you
seen the movie, but
if you show her Solo Leveling and she says the same thing Ari does, I'm gonna judge her so badly.
Not at the beginning,
no, he's, yeah. He
but after he starts to transform, yeah.
Best director, Kiichiro Saito, Frieren Beyond Journey's End.
Fair enough.
Best character design, Dan to Dan. Which I would say, yeah, just because of the artistic style and a lot of the characters.
I did. I like that. I like the art style.
Best background art, Frieren Beyond Journey's End.
Very nice.
Best animation, don't know how I feel about this one. Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba,
Yaiba.
Hashira Training
Kimetsu.
Arc, which really the last episode was the best animation they had.
Mm-hmm.
Huh? Oh yeah. Best slice of life, Too Many Losing Heroines. I hear a lot of great things.
Yeah, I
about that
haven't seen
one.
it. I haven't seen it, but I have heard good things.
Best romance, Blue Box.
I'm all right. I'm some water, honestly. I'm gonna get some water soon,
Best Isekai Anime. ReZero Season 3.
but okay. All right.
Best
Fair
Drama.
enough. I've only seen season 1 of ReZero.
We're midway on Season 2.
But I mean, it was good. It was good. So I mean, I can understand. It's very popular as far as isekai animes go. So, what you're saying, best drama?
Best Drama is Frieren Beyond Journey's End.
Okay, very nice.
Best Comedy is you and Ari's favorite comedy of last year.
And Kayla.
Oh, yeah, true. Mashal.
X, yeah. Oh, it's so good. It's so funny.
Best Action is Solo Leveling.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Best Ending.
Just a moment. Just a little bit more. No. What are you looking at me like that for? I appreciate you.
She's like that. Huh. I'm going to spit in your water now.
Make sure you give him the one you split in. I want the other one.
All right.
Best Ending Sequence. Solo Leveling.
Yeah. Yeah, the last episode of Solo Leveling was epic.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, dear.
Best Opening Sequence is Creepy Nuts Dan to Dan.
Yeah, I actually really liked that opening sequence.
Best
Hey, ice.
Is the ice not cold?
She didn't put very much ice into it.
Problem with every damn thing. You're just like mom that way.
Best New Series. Solo Leveling.
Of course, of course.
Best Original Anime, which I saw someone talk about this, and apparently they're like, well, this is why fans should not be voting for anime. Because apparently this only had people, he was like, well, I guess people only saw the first episode and didn't see the rest of it because the rest of it is complete dog shit. Ninja Kaimu.
I don't even know what that is.
Well, apparently the first episode had such amazing, like an amazing action sequence that people were like jaw dropping over. But then everything else after that was horrible.
That sucks.
So it's like, how is that the best original anime you guys got? Film of the year, Look Back. Yeah, the one from the Chainsaw Man author.
Yeah, that was depressing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for the trauma.
And then anime of the year is Solo Leveling.
Of course.
So Solo Leveling took everything.
Oh,
Not
and
everything, but a lot of it.
best continuing animation, which I forgot to say, is Demon Slayer. Which I don't.
They gave a special award to Attack on Titan for being,
The most impactful one.
yeah, something like that.
I saw that clip, but I thought that was.
Re-released the movie that they were able to get that.
Hey, baby,
Final act.
since you're up, can you get me a creamy soda?
Creamy soda?
Okay, just don't give me the cream that comes out.
Why? Why add the why?
I just hope she doesn't give me the creamy that comes out.
There's something wrong with you.
It wasn't for him. Creamy soda.
It's just cream soda.
Sweet and creamy.
I don't need to know that.
I ate too much. I ate the cheese off a piece of pizza.
I saw you do that just now.
She's a cannibal.
Her eyes are bigger than her stomach. Almost literally.
What'd you say?
Said your eyes are bigger than your stomach. Almost literally.
I don't know how to take that.
That was too much food.
Because her stomach is small.
The cheese
Oh,
was
yeah.
too much food.
What?
Do you think the cheese was too much?
You said it was too much just now. Right, like seconds after eating it.
It's a hard line to find calories and also food.
What? All right.
So I figured I'd just pull up the picture while you guys had that wonderful conversation about food and calories.
Pull it up.
Trying to find a actual decent photo.
Of
Galactus.
Galactus. They leak photos of that or something?
No, they revealed the first official look of Galactus Thankfully, not through the trailers.
Okay.
Oh my god, if I pull it from Facebook link one more time, I'm gonna scream.
Have you ever seen TV Funhouse?
I don't know what that is.
Oh.
I don't know if I want to know what that is.
TV
SNL
Funhouse.
do, like, a cartoon thing. Me and Ariana used to watch it all the time.
I'm going to rip.
They what? They did cartoons? It's SNL.
It was so funny. They were
Fantastic.
So unhinged. It was like early 2000s.
Mm-hmm. What was that show that you were talking about that your family had you watching as a kid that was like not for kids? It was a cartoon.
Trumpet the dog.
What?
Wait till Ariana comes out.
Oh God.
So after if you guys want to stay just for a little bit longer, I could show you.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Ariana could share.
Trumpeth the dog
Triumph.
or Triumph the dog.
Okay, so literally, every picture I pulled up was all pixelated.
Okay, very
First
good.
official look of Galactus, which I'm still thankful they're not showing him in any trailers because we don't. I don't want them to pull a Red Hawk on this.
Yeah, like give you the most epic scene with Galactus in it. It's like the one scene at the end of the show where he's in it.
Yeah, and I feel like what's
Yeah.
going to happen is that he's going to come down. He's going to want negotiations
Right.
with the Fantastic Four. And then he's going to be like, well, you guys have this certain amount of time to give me what I want or I will fucking destroy your planet. So, yeah. Going from that, Voltron. You've heard of Voltron, right?
Voltron,
Yeah.
like the Transformers,
Sort
but
of.
not Transformers.
It's like Power Rangers / Transformers. I don't know
Yeah.
too much about them.
I don't know much about them at all, but I've heard of them. Yeah.
Apparently, they're making a live action film.
Wow.
They just finished filming, and the star of that film is actually Henry Cavill.
Who
Henry Cavill.
asked for that?
Oh. I thought you said who, like Henry Cavill, Superman. Honestly, legit, like.
Oh, he nailed that. I nailed that joke. Great comedic timing.
I mean, legit, like. I know there's a fan base there. I know it's just as big as Power Rangers. Well, not as big, but I know like there's a big fan base out there. But was anyone asking for a live action version?
I don't know.
Like, I
That's
feel like it's
something
not
I'm
gonna
wondering.
be good.
Like I've heard of Voltron. I feel like if you say it too quick, it sounds like you're saying Ultron.
Voltron.
I've heard of Voltron instead of I've heard of Ultron.
Mm-hmm.
I said two different things just now. Now,
Which, speaking of, Ultron's actually on Marvel Rivals now.
okay, hold on. No, Voltron is something that I've heard of. I just like as a kid, I think I saw some of the things, but like it was never a big part of my childhood or my life in general, really.
Mm-hmm. Well, I know I think they just ended the series that starred Josh Keaton too on Netflix.
I mean, I know that there's a fan base out there for it. I don't know. How big is this fan base even really currently?
I know it's a big fan base, but I don't know how big.
I don't know.
It's big enough to where people actually will be like it'll probably make good money in the box office. And I feel like with how big of a nerd Henry Cavill is, I feel like he probably chose the script carefully.
Stain, spray, and shout.
I'm sorry.
What, did you pee on yourself?
I have
Oh, spray and wash?
Yeah, like,
I have some stain remover wipes, but they're like in a bag in the closet.
Why would happen? No, I just, like, that's a new shirt, and I got fruit punch on it.
Oh, I see. I mean, you can check in the laundry room. If we had some of the spray and wash stuff, we'd have it in the laundry room. Yeah. I don't have a Tide pen. I have a WD-40 pen.
What?
I always have it in my pocket.
I didn't know that.
I always have
You
my
said-
I always have my WD-40 pen. I always have my knife. I always have my Streamlight flashlight. I always have my earbuds, my phone, my wallet.
I never knew they had a WD-40 pen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Looking for.
I'm just gonna use soap and water.
There you go. Soap and water. Dawn dish soap.
I don't know.
Oh yeah, it's a cleaning rag, so you know.
No, that means no, it's not clean.
She's gonna use soap. the I don't know if that did the mics ever pick that up. Like because the ice maker in the freezer like groans from time to time.
I hope not.
If it's quiet, man. If it's quiet enough, maybe.
Yeah.
Not usually when you guys are talking.
Right.
Jesus.
It's funny.
Thor has been apparently been confirmed that he's going to be more like the Thor from Infinity War in Avengers Doomsday.
Okay.
Basically, he's not going to be a dumbass.
Avengers Doomsday.
Yeah.
Avengers Doomsday? What are you talking about?
Thor is going to be more like how he was in Infinity War
Right.
in Avengers Doomsday.
What is Avengers Doomsday?
The next Avengers movie.
The one that's coming out?
Yeah.
I actually can clip it probably. You have said this every time we bring up this movie on the podcast. Every time, baby. This is probably about the fourth time you have said this.
I feel like that's untrue.
I actually don't
Please
remember.
flip it.
I feel like this is untrue.
No, I know. Yeah.
Go ahead.
I actually
Prove me wrong.
Yeah.
I'll be 100% honest. If you have, I don't remember.
Exactly.
No, he has.
Whatever you say.
But I ain't gonna lie, you really confused me when you kept saying that. I was like, what are you talking about?
Okay, so the next Avengers movie, they're
Yeah.
saying that the Thor in that movie
Right.
is going to be a lot more like the Thor in which one?
Infinity War.
Infinity War?
Yeah.
Okay.
What are you doing? Is that a fish?
It's a bottle opener shaped like a bass. Okay, and what? Okay, so what do they mean by that? What
Personality.
personality?
Because Love and Thunder, he was a dumbass.
Yeah.
Like, his character sucks.
Yeah.
But Infinity War, I think that was the best he's ever been,
Okay, I can see that.
personally. in my
Very
opinion.
nice. And it's still
Chris Hemsworth.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Apparently, there's been talks that they might try to actually kill him off in Secret Wars or Doomsday.
Disgusting.
To be honest,
Disgusting.
To be honest, they can't make a good Thor movie in a while anyway. So might as well
Yeah.
get rid of the character and do Beta Ray Bill.
Beta Ray Bill would be cool. I could do a Beta Ray Bill.
Yeah. What? Like you could do like seeing him in movies,
Yes.
or you could play
Michael,
him.
obviously context clues lead you to that conclusion.
Well, knowing you, I feel like you would actually feel like you could play Beta Ray Bill.
No, that's not what I was saying. And do I look like Beta Ray Bill
No,
to
you
you?
don't look like a horse.
I don't think Beta Ray Bill is a horse.
No, he's not a horse, but he has like shit. I don't even know too much about.
A long face.
You say he has horse teeth?
Yeah, is that what you meant?
I don't think
Are you
that's
saying he has horse teeth?
No, Battery Bill.
Beta Ray Bill.
Battery Bill.
Battery Bill. Come on down to Battery Bills.
Oh my god.
Okay. No, yeah, Beta Ray Bill. And I guess he kind of has a long face.
He definitely has. I mean, he's like he's an animal, right? Like
He's an alien.
an alien animal. Like there's aliens that are like animals.
Okay. I mean, all right. Sure. Why not?
Why do we have kids on the podcast?
I don't know.
You both are. The way you said that sounded like a kid. I'm not a kid. I'm an adult. I'm a grown woman. Fear me.
Next time if you ask if it's okay if you buy a Lego from Target.
What?
Buy a Lego from Target.
Yeah, I want to buy a Lego from Target.
You're bugging yourself.
Yeah, she's talking about you, bud.
Yeah, because I did today.
What? You did today?
Yeah.
Why didn't you go to Target?
Didn't get a Lego. Yes, he said this morning. He's like, I'm just gonna go somewhere for a little bit, and I guess that's where he went.
Why didn't
He
you
went
say
to
it like
Target
that?
to get a Lego.
Why didn't you just tell her where you were going? Why didn't you
And took my car.
Well,
That's diabolical.
I mainly
Car? And you didn't tell her where you were going?
I mainly took her car so I can actually park her closer to.
I'm just gonna go somewhere.
But no, I've been looking for this Lego set for a while.
If you said that, I'd be like, where?
Don't worry about it.
Where the hell are you
Women don't need to know where you're going as long as it's not a strip club.
Wait, guys, I know we always do kind of like, we didn't do any sad moments. I feel like you guys always have a sad, like, let's take a moment of silence moment.
Speaking of Georgia,
I don't know.
Can we do the sad violin sound?
no, she recently found out about something that's happening in Georgia because of something kind of fucked up.
Oh.
What did I find out?
No, I told Kayla about it.
Alright, well, can I have a sad moment?
I swear to God, if it's what I think it is.
Everyone, an hour ago. Oh my god. Phil Robertson from Duck Dynasty died.
Oh.
79.
Was that the was that the racist?
I think they were all a little racist, Michael. It was Duck Dynasty.
So I mean, if they're a little racist, why should I
Mike.
care?
Which one was he?
I feel like talking bad about a dead man is kind of messed up. Not gonna lie.
I'm not talking bad.
He is.
Well, they might have been.
Oh my god.
Who made the video with the music?
Oh, I just put it on Spotify.
That was from like People Magazine.
But no,
That's kind of crazy that they did that.
but no. If you want something really like,
Someone in marketing, I was like, who posted that? Because I saw it was like People Magazine or something.
Anyway.
Where were we?
no, if you want something really sad, I'll pull.
Somebody say something about what was it, October something? What was it? What about what? What were you talking about that you told Kayla?
That's what I'm pulling up.
What is it?
I'm gonna because I want to be respectful to the person. I want to pull up the actual story. Do you remember the name?
Don't talk about that abortion thing. Is that what you're talking about?
Well, it's more to bring awareness because it's fucked up. We're gonna get away from nerdy shit real quick because this.
This is really fun. This is going to take a big.
We're gonna go from X-Men to whatever this is. The way I just.
No.
I have another.
I'm not sure I'm gonna like where this is going.
First.
Clearly, like, dying.
No, I have another.
No, she's not dying. She's brain dead.
Yeah, I guess.
Oh, we're talking about that? That's not what I was gonna do.
No.
What were you gonna do? So Adriana Smith. So right now George is under fire because of their abortion laws, and Adriana Smith is currently brain dead. So she's, I think it said like she was 3 months pregnant when she was declared brain dead, and because of the abortion laws, they are forcing her to be an incubator to make sure the birth continues on.
Mm-hmm.
The family has no say in the matter. They don't want that at all, and basically the hospital. This is what they're saying is that the hospital is telling them to pay for it, pay for the bills. Even though you have no rights to say anything about this, you're paying the bills.
Mm-hmm.
So they're forcing the body of a brain dead woman to be an incubator for a baby that's more than likely not going to live anyways.
You know that feeling when like your hands are covering over a hot stove? That's how I feel about this topic right now.
Stop it. No.
But no, I wanted to at least bring awareness because honestly, that is very fucked up. And yeah, I just thought, yeah. Going back to nerdy news, Kevin Feige has come out and said that he has talked to people and has a 10-year plan for the X-Men once they're fully introduced.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of, no footage has been revealed yet that I've seen, but apparently it's roaming on TikTok. But a guy with the username of, you didn't see that coming, he snuck onto the Avengers Doomsday set.
Hold on. Hold on. The username?
The username is, you didn't see that coming.
See what coming? The username?
Yeah, that's his username.
The username is, he didn't see that coming.
No, not he. You didn't see that coming.
I didn't see that coming?
Oh my god.
What is going on? All right. What are you doing with the sound effects over here? Okay.
This isn't a sitcom. I swear she puts an applaud after that.
What do you do? Download a soundboard or something? What is going on? So, okay. The username is you didn't see that coming.
Right.
Okay.
And he snuck onto the set of Avengers Doomsday and actually filmed some scenes.
Okay.
The people who have seen the scenes say that apparently it doesn't show anything new. Maybe a couple things, maybe. But Marvel did send him a cease and desist and threatened lawsuit against him, I believe.
Okay.
But I figured I'd mention that.
Yeah.
I have one more review, and then... No, actually, we can do 2 more reviews. But How to Train Your Dragon, I'll do last.
Okay.
Devil May Cry, the anime.
Gotcha.
I meant to do a review for this a while ago, and I kept forgetting. I thought that was a pretty damn good anime.
Yeah?
People are hating it because it doesn't stay true to the video games, but they forget it's an adaptation.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't need to be 100% faithful to the games at all. It can be its own thing.
Yeah.
Lady does drop a little too many curse words. I agree with that. It's a little childish sometimes, but I know she's becoming more of the lady she's supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
The rabbit, an amazing villain. He had so much aura farming on that. It was like he could easily be a villain in Soul Leveling. That's how badass he was.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Soul Leveling is all about aura. That's
It
what
really
it's about.
is.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, I think it was a great anime. In terms of video game animes, especially from Netflix, as much as I love Cyberpunk Edge Runners, I feel like it went too fast in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
And it felt like the pacing was a little too fast, and then it finally slowed down to give us that time. Where with Devil May Cry, it took its time to actually kind of develop everything that's going on.
Okay.
But then it ended in a silly notion, which I just feel like is not going to end well for them. If you don't mind, I can tell you that, because this show's been out for a while, so I know people who watch this, spoilers probably, at this point, spoilers wouldn't matter.
Okay.
America invaded hell and made a base in there.
Oh, wow.
And considering one of the biggest demons, basically the devil himself, Mungus,
Mm-hmm.
he's not going to take a good liking to that, and he's going to fuck shit up in there.
All right.
So, going from that, I feel like we should save Harry Potter for Izzy,
Yeah.
because I think Izzy would have a lot of fun talking to Kayla about Harry Potter.
Yeah, we can do that.
Except, not talking
have to
about,
watch.
silly shit like, who's your favorite character?
Yeah, I will have to take some time to watch. I feel like there's a lot of shows I need to watch. I will take some time to watch though. The Devil May Cry,
Mm-hmm. I think you'd really like it.
as well as there's a lot of shows I need to finish watching as well. Like I still haven't watched all of season 2 of. Why am I spacing the name? Starts with an A.
Season 2 of...
Why am I spacing right now?
It's an anime, right?
No, it's animated. The League of Legends.
Arcane.
Arcane. Jesus Christ, I could not. Something is wrong with my brain right now.
Oh, actually, there is an anime I would definitely recommend you watch. I don't know if it's something Kayla will be into, but it's amazing.
Okay.
So
I'll be the judge of that.
Well, it's... I feel like anime that comes from China.
Uh-huh.
I forget if Jackie told me it was China or Korean. I don't remember which.
China.
China. Oh, yeah. But no, it is a crazy... It is... I'd have to show you on Crunchyroll, but basically, for the people who are watching this, you probably already know about it. Think of it as like The Boys, where they're heroes who kind of like treat it as a role than an actual profession.
Okay.
But it's like switching between 2D and 3D animation, and it has a deep emotion, like character-wise, written really well, emotionally driven, all that kind of jazz.
Okay. What is it called?
Top Hero X, I think.
Top Hero X.
Yeah, I think that's.
And
what it's
where
called.
is this streaming?
To be a hero.
To Be a Hero X. It's,
To Be Hero.
I could be wrong, but it's on
Yes.
Crunchyroll.
I think I've seen it. Well, I've not seen it, but I think I've seen it on there. I've seen that it's there.
And the first 4 episodes follows one hero specifically.
Right.
And right now, I think every 2 episodes, because I think they have 24 episodes they're going through, it's going to follow on every other hero that exists within this world.
Okay.
But the first 4 episodes is one of the best parts of anime I've seen in a while.
Yes, I've been starting. I went through like some of the April simulcast and added some things to my list that I've started to watch.
Is that your My Anime list?
This is my Crunchyroll watch list. Yeah. So I started watching. I put a good few of them on there. I'm starting to watch Teogonia, The Beginning After the End, The Brilliant Healer's New Life in the Shadows, Witch Watch,
That's one we still got to watch.
Unaware Atelier Meister,
Underwear?
Unaware,
Oh.
unaware, not underwear. There's a few more. Oh yeah, actually, I did put the one you were talking about, To Be Hero X. I put it on my list to watch.
Oh, so I was close.
To Be Hero X is what it's called, and yeah, it did kind of seem that way. Like when it you know. You know,
Maybe we should find different sisters.
this is how a burger is supposed to be. The fries, they blend so perfectly. Anyway, you ever heard that song / meme? Oh my goodness! Oh
I'm
my
try-
damn! Oh my goodness!
Oh, I
They
haven't heard-
going ham.
Oh my god, I haven't heard that in a long minute. Holy fuck.
Yeah, it's a good edit.
Oh my goodness. Oh my damn.
She's like,
I'm gonna have to look that up now.
she's cooking up some diabolical stuff over there.
Yeah, she needs to stop watching Burger King ads.
Peanut chocolate. Yeah,
Okay, I think
that's not the original. That's not the original.
That definitely wasn't the original.
I remember the Reese's Puffs, peanut butter chocolate flavor.
I think that's
All right.
a sign that we're
I
gonna
think
end
it's,
this with the How to Train Your Dragon review,
Yeah,
because I need to take her home and tuck her in so she
Yeah.
can stop being crazy.
the tism is tisming.
Oh yeah, these girls definitely have autism.
So you. Yeah, baby.
What was that?
I think he agrees. You both need to be tucked in.
Put to sleep.
I will say the timing of that after you just said that.
No more.
No more. Especially when I just said that he needs to tuck his girlfriend in.
So, How to Train Your Dragon. First time watching it?
I feel like it was my first time watching it.
Very nice. Very nice.
Put your phone away.
I want to get this over with.
Yeah, put your phone away. Yeah, I feel like it was definitely my first time watching it because there's a lot of scenes I don't remember seeing ever. I know I've seen How to Train Your Dragon 2. I remember that very thoroughly. But I feel like I would have seen the first one before even bothering.
You certainly should have.
But maybe it was so long ago I don't remember much about the movie.
Maybe. That's odd.
Yeah.
It's a good film. A very memorable one as well.
Honestly, the live action film's coming out soon, and now that I've seen it more fresh and clearly, I just don't think it's going to be as. I definitely can tell it's not going to be as good. But it's gonna be hard to say because I told you to put your phone away.
He said, I put my foot down.
I'm gonna put my foot in her face.
All right, well,
Yeah, make that.
you can
face.
save that for home.
Yeah, she's gonna get a whole bunch of bunions.
All right, buddy.
Anyways,
Jesus Christ.
the fact though that the original. I think she's trying to. Tell
I
you
hate everything about this conversation.
Anyways, even though it's the original director, I do trust them to make
Mm-hmm.
a decent version of the film he's already made.
Yeah.
I just don't think it's going to capture that same magic.
With that being said, what did you think about the animated film that you watched, the original? that you
I
watched
don't
today?
know. I think the animation looked shitty.
It did look bad.
All right.
I say sarcastically because, unlike, these two ladies here, I have the understanding of 15 years ago.
It was
animation wasn't
15
gonna
years
look
ago.
great.
Like, how old were you guys 15? How old were you 15 years ago?
I was getting out of high school.
Yeah, 30.
15 years old. You? Come on, do the math.
You were 13 at least. I was getting out of high school.
Yeah, you're 13 years old. 13 years old.
No, I was out of high school.
What else were you watching when you were 13 years old?
Roly Poly Oly. She probably was watching Roly Poly Oly.
Swear to God. You know what I mean? It's like 15 years, Animation has come a long way.
Yeah, I mean Disney's animation still looked kind of iffy around
Right.
that time. They didn't look great.
I think it was a transitional period, A lot of people were a lot of companies I think were really diving headlong into the 3D animation world, and it was starting to develop at that point, but it wasn't where it is today, obviously. And I think it still looked pretty good, especially for its age. Yeah.
Let's see.
So other than the animation, what did you think of the film, the story, the writing, the score, the music?
The score was amazing.
Oh, the fantastic,
And
yeah.
put it bluntly, Tangled came out in 2010. Shrek Forever After came out in 2010. Megamind came out in 2010.
Oh my God.
Yogi Bear came out in 2010.
Movie I want to know came out. A bit cloudy when Chance of Meatballs come out.
Oh my god.
It's fair. It's fair.
What's fair about that? I don't understand. What does that have to do with anything?
I think that's DreamWorks too, isn't it?
Yeah, God, Jesus Christ. It's also a completely different animation style.
Actually,
It's not
that
prevalent
makes a
to
big
the-
difference.
It does make a big difference. It's not,
That came out. It actually came out the year before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Right.
But it's a completely different animation style. So, depending on the animation style, it can definitely, you can tell a difference between one animation style and the other.
Absolutely, yeah.
How to Train Your Dragon is a little bit more, still cartoony but realistic. Where Chance of Meatballs, you have to dive into that cartoony aspect to really enjoy it the way it looks.
I really like.
And the black cop was funny as fuck.
I really liked How You Train Your Dragon. I just do think it was giving Nickelodeon.
What?
You get it?
Explain what that means, actually.
It was just
First off, are you disrespecting Nickelodeon?
Swear to God.
giving like I don't know, like Avatar and The Last Airbender.
Which was a phenomenal series.
And that was 2D animation.
Which was a phenomenal series. I don't understand. Hold on a second. What would you mean giving? Like that's a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing. It's just that's the vibe. I mean, you know what I'm trying to say? Yeah.
Do
That's
you?
just the vibe.
Can you explain what she's trying to say?
It's giving
Tech and the power of Juju.
Talk.
I'm gonna fuck you up for that.
It is not giving that at all.
Do you-
And that's a video game.
No, they had a show of it too.
Oh,
yes!
God.
That show. That show was.
No,
was
it
garbage.
wasn't.
Also unrelated.
That's a completely different art style.
Dave the Barbarian.
Oh no, I hated that show.
They,
I fucking hated that show so much.
really?
I hated it.
That didn't feel like Disney. That felt. It was. Probably
That felt like I just took a shit. Dave the Barbarian was such a god awful show.
It's late.
Giving
It's late. You know?
Mr. Wizard, which was good. Such fun.
I don't think they even know what they're talking about at this point.
It's giving that one fly that went to high school and she had pink hair. Fuck was that?
I'm ignoring them for right now. I'm gonna look up all the animations that came out leading up to How to Train Your Dragon. Going from 3D animation, wow. I did not know that was DreamWorks. Chicken Run was DreamWorks.
Chicken Run. That was claymation.
No, I know, but still, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Though,
I did like that movie as a kid. Chicken Run?
They say Shrek was their first.
You don't like claymation that much.
Chicken.
That was more like Wallace and Gromit style claymation, though.
It really was.
Yeah.
Though I barely remember it, but why did they say Shrek is their first 3D animation when they had ants?
Yeah.
Dark.
Dark.
Ants was dark as shit.
It was not dark. It was a very hopeful story.
What?
Yes. He came out on top and became the king at the end. Like, that is such a hopeful story.
Squished by a foot.
In the gum, they didn't actually die.
Actually, I was thinking of when they were.
They uncovered corrupt government structure, and they overcame it with the power of friendship.
It's just them thinking.
which Ants movie did you see?
The
Bugs
only-
Life?
No, ants.
Turn your damn phone off.
Who's that from?
That was from Star Wars. All right.
But no, I was talking about more the war scene.
The war scene, yeah. Okay, yes.
Because there was a decapitated head too.
Yeah, that part was a little darker. Yeah. That, okay, I understand where you're coming from. But other than that. What?
So it goes Shrek,
Okay.
Shrek 2,
Yep.
Shark Tale,
Mm-hmm.
Madagascar,
Madagascar was good.
Over the
I liked
Hedge.
Madagascar.
Flushed.
Oh my god.
Flushed Away?
I
Wasn't
forgot.
Flushed Away claymation as well?
It was.
Okay.
You. Flush Away was great.
That was the one with Johnny Depp.
Love it.
Yeah.
I fucking love it. You want to talk about autistic Sim?
Shrek the Third,
Jesus
Let her say her story.
B movie.
Yep.
Hey,
B
no,
movie.
no,
I liked the B
Playing
movie.
soundtracks all day.
No.
A B movie was good.
You had to watch Over the Hedge or she was gonna die. I watched it for a week straight once. Every night. I had a Hand Me the Squirrel sticker on my TV.
She had like this fixation with Bruce Willis and Steve Carell.
No. What? I didn't even know those people. It didn't matter. Those animals were real to me.
Yeah, she was like
Anyways,
stimming.
Kung Fu Panda, Madagascar 2,
Yep.
Monsters vs. Aliens, and then How to Train Your Dragon.
Yeah. I thought it was kind of a big jump because none of those films leading up to it were that same kind of 3D style, that the exact same kind of 3D style that How to Train Your Dragon was.
Yeah.
Some of them, like, had a more like 3D affect to them, but I think that the real like 3D animation that they jumped into with How to Train Your Dragon, it was kind of a big step outside of the animation comfort zone I think they had before that.
Yeah, because they definitely tried to go more realistic.
So I think with that being said, I think they did a really decent job on that, especially for the time and the technology that they were using. And I think that over the course of the next two films after that for How to Train Your Dragon, that they did improve a lot as well. And obviously, we've come a long way with 3D animation,
And
I
I
think.
will
So
say, looking at the movies they have after How to Train Your Dragon, I think Rise of the Guardians was the next one that actually tried to emphasize on that realistic look.
yeah.
And was like a good step approach to what How to Train Your Dragon
Rise of
was
the
gonna look
Guardians
like.
was a beautiful animation.
My sister loves that.
It's
film so
really,
much.
really pretty.
But then I can't believe how many movies they've actually done that I didn't even
Not to be
realize
confused with Legend of the Guardians, which is a film about owls.
that isn't involving Harry Potter.
Yeah, and we're talking about Rise of the Guardians. We're talking about the film with Jack Frost and Santa.
The one that everyone shipped with Elsa.
Yeah, that guy.
And Wolverine.
Yes, you might be thinking of Legend of the Guardians, which is it's a movie about owls. Which I actually did enjoy a lot. It was a really nice movie.
I
think.
wouldn't mind seeing it again because I think it's one of the only few Zack Snyder films I actually like.
Yeah,
Because I don't care much for Zack Snyder as a filmmaker.
yeah.
But yeah, no, there's a big jump. I think both of them once they see
I think
How
so.
to
Yeah,
Train Your Dragon 2, they're gonna change their mindset. And
Definitely.
Not say Nickelodeon. But give an actual honest response. What the hell makes How to Train Your Dragon look like Nickelodeon?
it really doesn't. Like Nickelodeon's never really done anything. I think.
I think 3D
Like that.
animation they stopped with Jimmy Neutron.
Yeah.
Okay, I can believe that.
That's,
Wait, no, it's on Nickelodeon.
That's what I was just
Yeah.
gonna say. The Penguins is on Nickelodeon.
But that was DreamWorks too.
Yeah, that's not far out of the question. Nickelodeon was part of Universal for a long time. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, SpongeBob is still there.
And to be fair, I love Nickelodeon.
Well, not anymore.
Well, yeah, not anymore.
Because they're trying to make a Rugrats live action movie.
Well, for why? Actually, who asked for that?
Because
Nobody
we're gonna
did.
see we're gonna see CGI babies moving their lips.
Phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal.
Remember when Bruce Willis voiced Spike?
From Land Before Time? What are you talking about? What are you
The
talking about?
The Rugrats movie.
Oh, that's
The
Spike.
the
I
wild-
don't know. I did not know that he voiced that character.
The Rugrats.
And
It's the Wild Thornberrys movie.
Okay.
He voiced Spike for like a Dream episode.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
And at all. I did not know that at all.
Mm-hmm.
But very cool. The more you know.
Yeah, you know that was an underrated movie. Is the Wild Thornberrys movie?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I remember watching some Wild Thornberries as a kid, but I really don't remember a lot about it. I feel like that was all like fever dream territory, like especially the crossover film between the Rugrats and the Wild Thornberries. Like, it was just odd.
Yeah.
Yeah, odd time of life.
You know, we should bring that up in a podcast episode. It's like the Hey Arnold movie and all that shit.
Jesus Christ.
Get right into the old school shit.
Dude, we were in the Dollar Tree the other day and we
Recess
saw
movie.
no, it was Arthur. We saw a toy from Arthur, a DW doll.
It was that one show, maybe, I don't know if I showed you or if I just.
What?
Something that had like these lions on it. I mean, we used to watch it. It was like a CBS type of show. Or
Yeah, why are you acting like you don't know and read between the lines?
Yes, it was that. They were all
Also, weren't you gonna ask her about what was that show?
in the Dollar Tree. Oh yeah, I was talking about Triumph the dog.
I don't know
And then
what the
they
heck
never
that
used
is.
it on- Or both of them never seen the SNL TV Funhouses. There's some good,
They stopped doing those.
There's some
SNL used to do cartoons.
really funny
Wow.
ones.
Yeah, there was one that I
The Disney
particularly remember watching over and over again. I feel like we had it recorded where it was all just the whole episode was the cartoon.
It was that. It was so. There are some really great ones on there.
Well, all right.
I'm gonna end this off.
End it off.
Well, I'm gonna end it off real quick with showing you a clip actually from Saturday Night Live
Okay.
because I think it would be a good way to get. I will say though, How to Train Your Dragon, definitely in my opinion, I can see why people call it like top 5 DreamWorks movies.
I liked it too.
Let's see.
You need some background music.
No.
No.
I don't want copyright on the podcast. I would never want that for anyone.
Is
I've dealt with enough copyright in my life. I don't need it ever again.
Frog, really copyright. And that was the hamster dance. If you want the crazy frog, you got it.
that song? The
Alright.
song is a remix of Axel F, which is from a movie about Axel Foley.
You're not gonna show us?
You've already seen it. So, on
Beverly Hills Cop.
on
That's
Saturday
that's
Night
the name
Live,
of the movie.
Scarlett Johansson came onto the show. They addressed the turkey ham joke that they did.
Okay.
But this was the joke that I thought was so far that I was like, why did they? I was surprised they actually went this far. Yeah. It was from their season finale.
Some psychologists say adults can reduce stress by returning to a childhood hobby, which is why I returned to my favorite childhood hobby, topping off priests with my pretty little mouth. Speaking of which, Lauren, I'll do anything to run this show.
Jesus Christ. Here we
Alright,
are
well, it's 12:32.
in the morning,
Yeah.
just so we're all aware.
Ari needs to go to bed.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna bed.
Listen.
There's so many reasons for that.
Listen, we appreciate you being here for this show. And whether you're a functioning adult human who can form coherent thoughts, or you're a chaos demon with autism, it's not always black and white.